wonderful program coming to you. And please don't forget to subscribe or give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, welcome, Dr. Ndimu, to the show. It has been a while. How are you doing?
Good. It's been quite a while. I'm doing great. It's summer.
Yeah.
And we have never had so much rain in the summer in so many years. I would say for 25 years, I haven't seen so much rain during the summer.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, our last conversation about Kenya, and there is too much which is going on in Kenya right now, and it appears that Ruto and his government are at their lowest point. But recently, Ruto came up attacking parliamentarians as being corrupt. And I know you saw that when it was in a devolution conference in Omabay. What is his game plan? Why did he decide to call his members of parliament corrupt?
Yeah, thank you for that observation. Again, thank you for inviting me to the studio. Ruto calling the members of parliament as corrupt isn't really something new to him. He had been, and for many years he was a parliamentarian, and he knows how the system works. So he's pretty much aware of how members of parliament operate, and when and who receives actually those corrupt dealings. He knows who is corrupt, how much they received, who gave them, and I'm not going to say this that he sometimes is an accomplice to some of those corrupt dealings. What I want you to know and take yourself back to 2017, 2022. Ruto, he's very strong when he has an opponent to attack. Right now, as it is, there is no opponent for him to attack. He consumed Tinga. Tinga is part of his team. And looking at the current composition of the opposition, it hasn't really appeared to be somebody strong that he's supposed to be punching. So he's actually looking for a punching bag so he can distract Kenyans, telling them, hey, look at who is corrupt. I'm going to deal with them. So Ruto is very smart. He's actually creating a monster so that he can start punching them. That's number one. Because when he has an opponent, Ruto is very good at attacking and actually knocking down opponents. Remember what he did for Uhuru Kenyatta? He created a monster out of him, started punching him, and he punched his way to the presidency.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I think I like your analysis there.
Now he's in his lowest moment. Every Kenyan is stepping on him. He has acknowledged he's very unpopular. He acknowledged he has made mistakes. He has acknowledged that he's down, but he's not going to go down alone. He's going to go down with the people who made him go down. The people who are supposed to be his watchdog.
Yeah.
So he's really telling them, you know what? These are the guys who are corrupt. I'm going to deal with them.
But then, you know, this is one of the presidents who has consolidated power and has put his parliamentarian in the pocket. If there is a man who has been riding on a horse without really opposition, is President Ruto. They don't seem to attack. They even when they hear anything about the executive, they don't do anything. I mean, his attack was out of the blues.
Right, and I want you also to take you back to 2022 now, exactly when he won the presidency. And even before he was sworn in, he was able to attack the opposition by taking off and adding on to his members of parliament, crippling parliament, because he had the minority in parliament, remember?
Yeah.
And even the courts ruled against him, telling him that the Asmio was actually the majority.
Yeah.
Have you wondered why Tinga never really went to fight to have the majority?
It's very surprising, even that something even the courts did, you know, it has baffled me.
Really?
They never did anything.
So he consolidated his power by first crippling the opposition, reducing their numbers and adding on to illegally, by the way, adding the members of parliament to his party, and therefore making them neuter, them call them. And the current speaker of the current parliament, perhaps he will go down as the worst speaker in the history of Kenya's parliament. Actually, he's so partisan. I mean, he makes illegal rulings, and he gets away with it. So by so doing, he has been left naked, because there's nobody telling him he's naked. He now walks in the public naked.
But that is how it comes as a surprise. Why would you attack your royal soldiers? I mean, your royal dogs. I would say very royal. Parliament is in his pocket. I mean, it just brought us a bombshell. Is there something that is hiding? Because now the MPs appear to be annoyed. But
that's a very good observation. The only way I can only speculate this, but the only thing, there are two things. One, as I mentioned, he's good and he appears to be great when he has something to punch against. That's number one. Number two, and critically, he's a raw consumer of NIS, National Intelligence Services. He knows how popular he is. He has confessed that he's very unpopular. He's at the lowest. He has nothing to lose. He has already lost it. Now, what he has to do is the only thing left is for him to come back up. And for him to come back up, he's going to lean and pull everybody down first and tell the Kenyans, you know what, we're all the same. Actually, I'm better than them.
Now, you saw when they had a meeting in Karen, both members of parliament from ODM and the UDA. And Raila came up very strong on the members of parliament. When actually others, Junaid Mohammed, have said that, they were lobbying, you can't confuse lobbying. And then Raila came strong and said, hey, lobbying is different from extortion. He was very strong, and it looks like they had planned with Ruto, that he was the one to talk about it, because actually Ruto never talked anything. What do you take from Raila, that he had to tell them that it was extortion? But then he was talking about that the governors should not be oversighted by the Senate.
Granted, I liked one half of his communication from in his speech. The one half that I like most is differentiating between extortion and lobbying. When lobbyists go to parliament, they lobby for certain bills to be passed, but giving them money in order to pass it is bribery. Number two, extortion, when members of parliament, especially the chairman of the committees, are writing reports that are detrimental to the executive, they know the details, they know how the report is going to appear in parliament, so they bring that same report even before it's known to the executive, and they tell them, if you don't give us this much money, we're going to expose you, we're going to get you go, you're going to be linked in public. That is extortion, and that's exactly what Raila was talking about. They are using their privileges of parliament, being parliamentarians, who are doing research and inquiring and asking the executive and holding the executive to account, and then they extort them. Once they receive the money, they make changes to the reports, and that's where extortion comes in.
Now, I would like you to listen to what Raila said, and I want your opinion there.
And that is not very far away from today, I will have opportunity to talk to the judiciary as well. So I'm going to be very candid with you people. to talk to you as a former member of parliament. Yes, the leader, Gimani Chungwa, referred to the constitution and told me the issues like NGF and and Senate oversight in
Oh, and the other.
because, as you know, I was very involved with the constitution, making constitution of this country. And another time, I would want to bring from the Yashpal guy, who was the leader of that constitution making. And we went through very many issues. We had committees in the Bomas of Kenya dealing with various segments of that constitution. The executive was one. The legislature is another one. Position. And then
Sorry. About that. We have an issue with the network, I think.
first Jaramogi, Oginga Odinga, and then Tom Mboya responded to that motion. The motion was defeated, but that debate actually is very historical. And I want to refer you to go and read what it said. Eventually,
So I think I want to I missed the point because of the network was not. It didn't come out clear what I wanted. I think there was some issue, but I can phrase what he talked Raila, why he wants the governors to be protected, not to be oversighted. I find it as a man who has been fighting for devolution. Why did he have to go that low to defend that they should not be oversighted by the Senate?
You know, one section of that piece of his statements were accurate. That members of parliament, honestly, should not be having a kitty they are implementing of. Remember, they are the ones who go through the budget making process.
Yeah.
They give the executive money to implement the projects.
Yeah.
And they are supposed to be honestly oversighting that executive. That I agree with him to that extent. The extent I disagree with him is the extent where the governors who are representing the county at the national level, who are making sure that funds are coming down to the counties, they are also mandated to make sure that the funds that are coming down, again, the governor is the executive of the county. They need to oversight them in some way, shape, or form. How do they oversight them? Is the question. Me, I couldn't question that they're oversighting them. The how is what we want to deal with. But they should be oversighting them because, after all, they are there to protect the counties. They are there to protect the counties. They are there to make sure the counties' funds are coming down to the county level. And how those funds are used, of course, the immediate frontline oversight is MCAs. Those are the frontline oversight who make the budget for the county level. But when there are issues at the county, they always make their way into the Senate. So there's no way we can say that the senators cannot oversight the county, because issues emanating from the county end up in the Senate. That is known as oversight. So the how is the question there.
So now, but one of the things, and I think it was the member of parliament from South Mugrango, Silvanos Osoro, said, how will you leave oversight, the governor's oversight on the MCAs, who are only paid 80,000 shillings a month, and they are relying on handouts from the governors? You expect them to oversight them?
I have a simple question. I'll also ask him the same question back. I will answer him by asking him the same question back. How can you leave the national government, which has 4.3 trillion shillings budget, to a mere member of parliament who is earning 700,000 shillings? That's the question I'll ask him. That's simplistic. That is childish. It shouldn't come from a member of parliament who understands the budget making process. Again, a member of parliament who is a lawyer, who will understand that it's not the amount of money you earn, it's what we call the ethics. It's not about how much you earn. It's ethics and ethical leadership.
So actually, I mean, out of this statement of Osoro, it really appears like the members of parliament, they are accepted that they are there to be bribed because they have a price.
Absolutely, and that's why I said, how can you leave a $4 trillion budget by the national executive to a member of parliament who earns a mere 700,000 shillings? How? Yeah. So that's the exact same question he posed, and I'll pose it back to him and tell him that's not the way to look at things. The way to look at things is when you have been given a task, perform that task. It's not how much money you are paid. It's a task beforehand. And again, there's nobody who is going to earn $11 billion, Kenya shillings, to start oversighting the governor who is managing a budget. That's not how we look at things. Public funds should be differentiated from public funds and private funds.
Actually, I wanted to play that clip for you.
I noticed it, and I was really very sorry for having, if I'm represented by that member of parliament, it's a pity.
The President of the Republic of Kenya, that now that attacks are coming from all over, want to inform him, Honorable Speaker, that he should not take the invitation to also join the bandwagon that attacks this house. Because this house, if somebody claims that they brought money to a certain committee or to a particular chair, then, especially on a bill that is actually sponsored by the AG from government, then that person should actually be arrested the more, because he is the one picking money from some public side and then to try and bribe the members of parliament, Honorable Speaker. Because this House, Honorable Speaker, has been under attack from every corner. And it should actually not be happening. Today, as we are speaking, Honorable Speaker, people are already complaining about KERA. They want the KERA funds to be reverted to the counties. They want NGCDF to go. But, Honorable Speaker, you will need a microscope to see what governors or county governments are doing, Honorable Speaker, because there is nothing that is being done, Honorable Speaker.
Time up. Time up. Parashina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. So this the members of parliament, and they wanted to control all this money. And why is it that they don't want the devolution to work in one way or another? They want the CDF to continue everything.
Other than just wanting to hang on to being re-elected again and again using public funds, because that's exactly what they are actually trying to do, that they try to have a kitty which they will use and turn around and say, this is what we have done for you. It's not really them doing anything for us. It's them going to parliament to go and appropriate for funds that have been collected from the public, and they oversight the national government to see that the funds that they appropriated have been spent according to the initial intended purpose. For them to come back and say, hey, we are going to appropriate some money to CDF, and then we start dishing out that money in terms of grants or building something, in my opinion, is not separation of responsibilities. We have to have separation of power, and they cannot have the power of the past and have the power of implementation. Who will oversight them? Who will oversight the members of parliament when they're having that budget?
Now, there was an issue which came about e-citizens where we have lost billions of money. I thought those could have been the really issues they will be addressing here. Nobody's talking about it, about that money which has been lost. Now they are saying they want for Ruto to appear in parliament and answer questions.
In my opinion,
come to answer questions about the allegation he made, or should he come to answer questions for the mistakes they have found him?
Interesting. You know, they are throwing a fit. They are throwing a fit because they have been attacked. You know, what is happening today in Kenya is everybody has been stealing so much, and there's no more to be stolen.
Yeah.
And everybody, the Kenyans are going after the president, and the president now is going after the members of parliament. It's like they have eaten everything. The carcass is smelling. Now he's saying, I'm going to come down on you because you stole so much and you're being bribed. Honestly, if the members of parliament were sincere, they will be holding the executive accountable to the monies that we are seeing lost. They will be inviting the minister in charge of whatever that department will be, where money has been stolen, that is the e-citizen, and also the SHA. For example, SHA, I understand SHA has been paying and reimbursing non-existent hospitals. I understand the Ministry of Education has been reimbursing the capitation to non-existent schools. I understand that there have been payments to non-existent work done in national construction of roads, and on the list is endless. If those members of parliament were serious, they should be summoning heads of department, that is the CSS, in charge of those ministries, and holding them to account. Remember when Mituri Kindiki, was it Mituri, the Minister for Agriculture, who was fired some time back, when he was found culpable for importing or distributing sand in the form of fertilizer, subsidized fertilizer, the same members of parliament left him off the hook. The same members of parliament left him off the hook. And that's where President Ruto is very, very honest for once by saying that there was extortion. They went, extorted money from that gentleman, and they removed and made him look clean.
Are you sure Ruto didn't know about that?
Come on. How will he not know?
So, what is really the fate of parliament? Because it looks like the integrity of parliament is gone. And don't you think maybe that is a way they are causing division among themselves between Ruto and parliament, so that they can sanitize themselves to have a ground, because they have totally lost, they are eating together and they can't do anything.
Exactly. And I will tell you this. We have several examples of how these members of parliament have extorted money, even from those who are fine or actually applying to be cabinet secretaries or permanent secretaries. And we have several examples. They were all over in the newspapers, where members of parliament who are said to be closer to the center of power, and you and I know, and it's been on the newspapers, that Silvana Sosoro himself said that he's on the list of those who have been listed as being corrupt. Why is he suspecting himself? Because he's closer to the center of power. And it's said, not just him, several others were demanding money from those who were shortlisted to be permanent secretaries. They were demanding 10, 15, 20 million Kenya shillings in order for them to be appointed.
So now let's come to a big question, and we have to agree that Kenya's government, members of parliament, what is rotten. What is the way forward now? Given that, and I want your opinion now, it looks like there is a big crack in opposition. Opposition in Kenya seems not to be going in any direction. Kenyans are confused. They don't know what's happening. Indeed, some of them have a feeling like they need to change government. But are you seeing anything good coming out of the opposition?
Right now, it's very disjointed, very disorganized. And that's one of the reasons why Ruto is looking for an opponent and is creating one in the form of parliament. That's number one. Number two, are we seeing any sense? Perhaps yes. Here is why. The Kenyans are really yearning for change, and they are looking all over. They are scanning their eyes across the terrain to see who they will rally behind. Right now, they are seeing a Matiang'i. They are looking for a savior. They are looking for a Joshua who will bring them to the land of Canaan, who will get them over to the land of Canaan. Remember, it was Moses who started off the journey and could not make it. He saw it but could not make it. Now that Moses has been for many years Raila Odinga. Now Kenyans are at the tip of getting into it, and they're now scanning who is going to be the Joshua to actually get them to that land of Canaan. And that's where Honorable Matiang'i is coming in, and that's why his name is hot in the air. Everybody is thinking that he might be that Joshua. Now, the onus is on him to see how he can consolidate all these and use it as a vehicle to ride on to that office at the hill.
Yeah, but he has never been a politician, totally a political neophyte, and he has thrown himself in the ring, in the mud of politics. Do you think he would survive? You know, the political dirt in Kenya's politics.
Well, I will only just give him.
I have to be candid and say, I mean, not that you are optimistic, but really,
there are possible two outcomes. Obviously, when you are in the ring, yes, I will say my wish. My wish is not always going to come to fruition, but my wish is he consolidates that. He learns quickly the ropes. He learns quickly the ropes of politics, and they are very rough. They are very rough. They are very rough. He has to remove the gloves. He has to start punching at raw punching.
okay.
He's going to see some of his friends, whom he thought are friends, going to hide and punch him back because they want to survive. And himself, by the way, he has to tell his closest friends that there could come a time while he is campaigning when he will appear like he's throwing them under the bus. Like for example, his former boss, President Uhuru Kenyatta. There is going to come a time when he's going to appear like he's throwing him under the bus. He has to be a politician. Now that's how politics works. So,
you know, I saw one is it a lawyer working there were on a vernacular TV blasting Matiang'i that he has abandoned Gachawa. It seems to be doing his own, and he has called him a government project. That's the dart they are throwing him. What do you think he should do with these attacks? Because they will be coming. You know, when you appear to be a front runner, people will start throwing stones on you.
Here's my opinion, and perhaps from many years of watching not only the Kenyan politics but also the US politics. As a serious political contender, he has to form what we may call, you and I remember, the war room. Strategists, yes, strategists who are always alert. And he has to form within that strategist group, he has to form what we call a rapid response team. A rapid response team who are scanning the environment, and they are responding to every single attack, and some of it deflecting it, some of it just pumping it before it lands on him very quickly. So that is the first thing he should do. And amongst the strategists, he must have people who will be very brave enough to tell him he's wrong. Not the choir. He has to have people who are strong, who will tell him, no, that's not the way to go. This is the way to go. And people who are honest, who will tell him, hey, for example, he was attacked by the bishop of Kisii Diocese. When somebody is attacking you, there are two reasons they're attacking you. Sometimes they feel like they're in the cold. They are trying to attract your attention. So all they need is just acknowledging them. And also, when high-profile people attack you, they're actually giving you a higher profile. So you should look at it from that point of view as well. So how you respond and rapidly respond is really what makes the whole difference.
What do you see? The many years you have seen about the Kenyan politics, is there something different in the coming election, or it will just be an election as normal?
The coming one is very, very unique, and I don't think it will be in another one like the one that is coming up.
Yeah.
The reason why is the current electorate, especially those who are between 20, and 35, are really very different from the electorates we have seen before. Number two, the information technology has changed.
Yeah.
The way information is relayed from place to place has completely changed, and it really runs very fast. That will change on how these elections will come out, because the people who are going to vote really get information in real time. Unlike in the previously, people will depend on the news, newspapers, and on and on. The news now is on their phones. Within hours they have it, within minutes, seconds actually.
Yeah,
So,
but based on the research on even on other countries where elections have been done lately, it looks that we highly rate the Gen Zs, but they don't really vote. Their turnout has not really shifted much. See, the people who are voting are older people.
yes, and when they vote, because I can tell you examples, when they vote, they make a difference. Remember who put Obama to the presidency the first time? The 20 Gen Zs. And then remember who put Biden to office. When they didn't vote this time around, he did not win. he lost. He lost. He lost. They were very optimistic. They put him in office and they never fulfilled.
So
this time around,
but they don't vote that much. But if they shift to your side, they make
correct.
a difference.
Yes, I was going to add that whoever is going to be the next opponent of Ruto, if he's able to galvanize the vote of the youth, if he's able to do that, he's going to go home and go home really big. Yeah.
So whoever would vote that. So, and I think one of the basic tenets of the country, people are hoping that Raila is coming too hard on the current regime, and if they don't follow what he's saying, he might rock horns. Do you agree with that? That he might rock horns with them?
Yeah, Mr. Raila has always been known to be very slewed when it comes to, honestly, national politics. You see that he's going to fall, but he always dusts himself up and remakes himself. But given his age, he's 80 years old, and I don't think he's going to run for office again. He would want to be the kingmaker. He has been always. He always makes his way back to the government. Look at it. He has always been in government, by the way. Even when Moi was there, he was able to make his way into the governance.
Yeah.
Even when he loses. So for him, I believe he's going also to be a kingmaker. And just like Gachawa wants to be a kingmaker, it's very difficult to have two kingmakers at the same time.
Okay. I want you to see this.
The same way
guy,
our current leaders
this
are now confusing the president. Naisi Fichi, our current president is confused. He doesn't know where to go, what to do. They are all expecting Raila to give a decision. Let me tell you, do not rely on Raila. He can change 11th hour na hamuna mahali pa kwenda. Hiyo mnajidanganya hapa bure. Kesho after 4 days, mimi na Oscar huyu ndio tulipambana na Bishop Okulu. I'm the one whom Moi gave money. I transported money all the way from Nairobi to save Victoria Bank, benki ya Okulu, na Okulu akawa rafiki ya rais marehemu, na tukamjengea nyumba Bishop Okulu, mimi nikisimamia na huyu. Mimi ndiye nilitumwa na rais marehemu Moi na Oscar na marehemu Chimi Choge, tukapewa mabunduki kila mtu mbili kubeba pesa yenye tulipelekea Raila na wabunge wake kule nyumbani Bondo, Nyamira Kango. Huyu the Raila you think you know ni Raila I know more than anyone. So na ule ndaba kutore tangurani ngamwa matore tera bruta Raila acha Mungu matoreti. Alisungusha Moi 6 months to election. Akasema Kasarani imekuwa kisira. Tukaenda pale KICC. na akatangaza Liberal Democratic. Mimi nikaingia Ford people. Mimi nikaingia Ford people na Nyachai. I was the only MP who was the only person who was with helicopter. Nikazunguka na Nyachai, tukakuja hapa Ngechek, tukaweka stima father, tukakuja Kaiboi. Nyumbani kwenu kule, tukafanya kazi na Nyachai. Nyachai akaandika naye MOU, Ford People Rainbow Coalition. Pale Serena, saa 4, saa 9 tukienda pale Uhuru Park. Ameenda na balozi ya Germany, saa 9 anasema Kibaki to. Na mimi ndio niliwekea yeye ile agreement yake na Nyachai 505.
That is the former MP of Mosop.
Right.
So, what is your take on that? I thought that was interesting. That's really good.
You know, Raila is a great person in giving history and giving Kenyans historical history lessons when it comes to the politics of Kenya. There is another one who is actually giving the inside history which is not known. How true it is, we don't know, but we always hear that is what happened.
Yeah.
In other words, he's warning Ruto that this man, you don't rely on him. He can sign an MOU at 10, and then 3 o'clock he's actually with somebody else.
Yeah, but then I see there's no way Raila is going to leave Ruto, because Raila has also a bond to chew with one community in Kenya. I think he feels like the people who failed him as the Kikuyus, and you heard Mbati speak clearly. You heard Mbati speak, says that the Kikuyus have never voted for any other person from another tribe except Ruto. Ruto is the only man who penetrated the Kikuyu nation and they voted for him. So for him, he thinks even if he sees them doing this, it is their own creation. So he remembers that in 2007, when Ruto said Raila Tosha, the Kalenjin nation voted for him, and he has to return that in 2027.
To a certain extent, yes. To another extent, no. Because yes, he might want to return, but he's already doing it. Actually, I had to note for him, Ruto's government's administration will have gone down. So he's actually already returning that favor. He's actually supporting him. He's making him look stronger right now when at the lowest.
He will support him and then he leave him on the way as he.
What I know, what I know is politics has no permanent enemies. Politics doesn't have permanent enemies. Depending on how people from the Central Republic of Kenya vote, they might select somebody else, and they might all converge in the same place. If believe me, Raila was able to see what was happening when he signed an MOU in 2002 to support Nyachai in the morning.
Yeah,
he saw where the wind was blowing into, and he had to jump into it quickly and be part of the history making.
Yeah.
So come 2027, you might see the same Raila. If it's going to be, hey, Matiang'i is going to be there, he will come and say, this is my Kichana, this is my son. And I've always told you that.
You know, let me tell you, sometimes people saw Raila speak during this parliamentary meeting. Someone commented to me and said, you know, I thought I had done away with Raila, but I think Raila won my heart again. Raila's a way of giving his supporters, because he has a way of putting his message and he hooks you up. That is his power. I think he has that power. We have to give him that.
Exactly. So the answer is yes, he might support him all the way, but also no, if somebody else comes up and he realizes this wind is too strong for me, he will be at the forefront, and you probably think that he's the one who is making that wind strong.
And in any case, even if we could have really maintained with Nyachai, I know then Uhuru could have become president.
Exactly.
202.
Yes,
And at that
exactly.
time, you know, agitation was to get Kanu out.
Yes.
So
His calculations
I would
were
think he's so clear that if he was not going to support Kibaki, the best which could have come is Uhuru winning, not Nyachai winning.
exactly that was going to happen that way, and Moi was banking on that actually.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what he
And
was banking.
he was banking on, and exactly that's what Ruto is banking on. He's banking on Rigathi Gachagua running for presidency, and having 3 strong candidates, and Peter took katikati, and then he becomes president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, our time is gone. Thank you for your time. I think we need to keep this fire burning now.
Thank you so much, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you.